Well, let's start with that new Falcon and Winter
Oh, we're gonna talk
Soldier.
about that, huh? Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah. Before we get into what you've been
Okay,
playing,
yeah. Let's talk
because
about it.
I just kind of steamrolled ahead.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah, I watched that.
Yeah.
I've been up to that. I've been doing that. I've been.
What'd you think of it? I know what you thought of it, but go
I
ahead.
I texted you
Yeah.
like pretty much the next morning, and I'm like, yeah, it was okay. It was a little like
You said it was
what
Chad.
Chadish.
Chadish.
It was Chad.
I was like, what the fuck is Chadish? What does that even mean? I still
It
don't
was-
know what that means.
Okay, so
I'd like you to explain.
I
Explain
feel
yourself,
like-
sir.
I feel like they're building the characters, and the characters are all like, "I'm dark and brooding," or "Oh, military man," and those are the only two things you got. Is or I'm too proud of everything, and then one guy is just like, I'm not proud of anything, and I think there's an interesting dichotomy in the show, but the first episode was very like a lot of action, not a whole lot of exposition. And I don't know, it kind of, they introduced Bucky, and they introduced Falcon, and you get a little bit of a deeper look into Falcon's life, and then Bucky, you don't really know what's going on there quite yet, and
I feel like you do.
but they don't make it seem like he's.
Obviously, we're talking spoilers here. So if you haven't watched it, it's just spoilers.
Well, it's hardly spoilers. It's the first episode.
Yeah. I don't
We
care.
won't go into
Maybe we
scenes or
start.
whatever.
Maybe we start every fucking episode with our little spoilers of the show. Why the fuck not?
Oh, sure. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we'll just
Okay.
do that from now
Yeah,
on.
so it starts off with them like in a plane, and then he's like, "All right, I'll see you guys later. I gotta go take out these terrorists before they cross the border." And he like flies out and kicks a bunch of dudes. Which, why does he only use his fists? I feel like he has a whole bunch of gadgets on his back. He's got that little thing that flies around. Why doesn't he use that to fight?
What are you talking about?
The Falcon in the opening scene where he's like fighting in that big cargo plane,
Yeah.
trying to get that VIP out of there. I don't even know who that was or what the purpose of that was, but
What's happening?
nothing. But yeah, I don't know what the purpose of that was, but it was oh well, I just lost my train of thought.
Okay.
So,
Well,
what did you think of it?
I disagree. I feel like they opened up what this show is gonna be. It's gonna be, I feel like you do know what's going on with Bucky. He's having to right his wrongs. He's meeting with this counselor, but he's also like an informant for the government, obviously. Unlike, because he was like, hey, sorry about that, and then there were also like cops there like catching the bad dudes. So like he's an informant for the government. He's trying to right his wrongs. It's sort of like My Name Is Earl. So we're back to sitcoms, because that's what My Name Is Earl is all about.
Is it really?
Yeah, My Name Is Earl. He's a former drug addict and like bad person, and he's like trying to right his wrongs. That's My Name Is Earl.
Oh yeah. But is he doing it for the government though?
I feel like he is, and he's also doing it for himself. Because obviously he was like an informant for them because they caught that one dude. I don't know who the fuck that was, but like they caught him. And then Falcon, like I feel like there's some interesting stuff going on with Falcon and his family. You get to see like more of like who he is. Also liked the little line where they said Uncle Sam. I never really put that together.
Mm-hmm.
Uncle Sam. That's
Uncle
clever.
Sam.
That's cute.
Yeah,
But
as soon as they said that, I'm like, oh, come on.
But also, I think they're setting up something that I feel like is a little like cool of Disney to do, where it's like it seems, as far as I can tell, like they might be tackling a topic that Disney might not otherwise tackle, which is like he gave the shield back, right? And then they gave it to a white dude, and it's like,
You think that was what it was?
I feel like that's a big part of it.
Wow, I did not get that whatsoever.
I feel like that's a big part, and I feel like that's going to be like part of the show. Like
they're making it a race thing. I hate that.
I think it's great. I think it's a good statement, and also
I mean, because it is
because it's
a
like
good statement, but
because it's like what it's saying is we're ready for a black Captain America. We're ready to accept that.
Right.
But are the elites ready for that? And like, you know, and that's to me where it seems like it's going. And then like also like, you know, obviously that dude's going to be a bad guy. I mean, it seems pretty obvious.
Right. Yeah. It seems like it, at least. The way they
you know, store brand Chris Evans.
Yeah, generic Chris Evans.
The only real issue I had with the show is like I feel like he shouldn't be struggling for money that hard because regardless of him being like a superhero and knowing Tony Stark, he's still like a high up in the Air Force, and I feel like people in the Air Force probably make okay money. I'm not saying they're like loaded, but like I imagine people at the Air Force of all the branches make probably the most, I'd assume.
Especially if you're flying. I hear you have to pass like crazy amounts of tests in order to fly, which means you're way up there in the like totem pole. I don't know what the hell keeps happening, but people are calling me and people are walking in on me. But yeah, he shouldn't have a problem. And especially since the army didn't have to pay for half of its workers for 5 years.
That's true. Well, I mean, yeah. I do like that. It's like it's kind of hitting on the point of like the blip affected a lot of people. You'd think that the world would look more of like a hellscape than it does.
A hellscape, yeah, absolutely.
Because that would be massive. But also, on top of him like being gone for 5 years, he was also defecting from the government for like years before that. Right. So yeah, he may be struggling a bit, but he's already back in the Air Force. They mentioned that he's in the Air Force. Right. And also, like, you know, Tony couldn't just like I know Tony's dead at this point, but like you'd feel like he would have just like given each member like $1 million at the start. Like here's just like $1 million, you know, just don't spend it all in one place, you know.
My severance pay.
Yeah.
But to you guys,
that's my thoughts on the show, I guess. That
threw me off, but also at the very beginning, where he hands the shield to the Smithsonian, that I never, anytime somebody goes like, okay, so Steve Evans, Chris Rogers, Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
What Steve Rogers?
Yeah,
is that his name? Okay. He gives the shield to him. And he's like, here you go. It's your turn. You know, you do this. I trust you. And then if I were to give something to somebody that is that important and they just fucking give it away.
Well, he didn't give it away.
Like
they put it in like the museum. I don't think he was expecting them to give it to a different guy. That's why I think it's definitely going to be a bit of a race thing, right? Because like if they were going to give it to anyone, why not just be like, hey, we want a new Captain America anyway, you should be the guy.
But he didn't want it. So if somebody goes, no, I don't want to be, and you can have it.
He didn't want it because like he thought someone else should have it. He didn't want it because it's Steve's. Like Steve is the guy. But if someone else, and he probably expressed that to the people, like, this is Steve's, not mine. And they're like, oh, okay, well then we'll give it to this guy. And that's probably not the outcome he was anticipating. But. Right.
And that's understandable. But also, if I were to give something that important to one of my friends, if I were dying and I'm like, here is...
Well, I'm not under the impression he was even dying. I think he's still alive. But.
He's probably still alive, but in a different timeline.
You think he's actually on the moon?
No.
That'd be fucking hilarious, though. If
that would be hilarious.
Like,
how would he be there? But anyway, like
I mean, the fucking Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know. Like, there's plenty of ways.
He's hanging with them. But yeah, if I were to give you something, they mentioned the moon
thing. That's why.
That was like a symbol of me. I don't have anything like that. I can't be like, oh yeah, Jake, I want you to have this. You know,
my Vita.
Yeah, my PlayStation Vita, and then you go, thanks, dude. I'll treasure it, and then you just give it away for a museum or something. I'd be like, dude, I gave that to you. That's yours. It's not anybody else's. It's your. Why are you giving it away? Like,
I think if you were like fucking Captain America though, and you had a whole exhibit dedicated to you in the Smithsonian, I might be like, I feel like people deserve to see this and to see who you were. I don't know. I get where he's coming from.
but yeah, but do you need the shield for that?
Yeah, that's like
I get that it's a symbol.
That's like his thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like John Lennon's piano. Like if John Lennon gave me his piano, I'd probably be like, this probably belongs in some sort of museum and not in my house, you know?
He had many pianos. You just fucking give him a different one.
You know what I mean, though. Like this is the piano they recorded the White Album with, and it's like, do I really need this? Like this probably belongs in a museum or something, or
right.
I don't know.
But then you'd be the only one with John Lennon's white piano.
I mean, that's true, and that would be cool. But I don't know. Belongs in a museum. I don't know.
Yeah,
I stand by that.
I don't know. We'll see how the show goes because it's intriguing for sure. It's not as intriguing as WandaVision.
No, I don't think so either. This is more just like your standard Marvel fare, which is fine. That's kind of what I kind of want. That.
I kind of want. It seems to be sort of like a Daredevil, like what they're doing. Not Daredevil. They seem to be going down like a Deadpool, Spider-Man sort of.
Like team up.
They're two different.
Well, this
but
is like,
they're also the same.
It's like Lethal Weapon, like, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a better analogy. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
I've heard it put like that. Yeah, like this is supposed to be like Lethal Weapon, but they definitely went more serious with it.
Yeah.
And I thought like the scene where he was in the counseling, like the counseling scene, I loved the way they shot that, like the close-ups on the face.
Really, really awkward close-ups. Yeah,
tight close-ups.
I like their noses and stuff like that.
I liked that because it like really focused on like how tight in it like focuses on you in counseling. I thought it really set the tone of like how you feel when you're in that sort of vulnerable state. But
right. Yeah, it was well shot. The whole thing was well shot, really.
Dude, that action scene, like that was straight out of a movie. Like that was, and it's a TV show. Also, the fact that Don Cheadle showed up, it's like, dude, I didn't think about it. Like I didn't even think about it. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And then I'm like, but like this is a TV show, and they paid for Don Cheadle to be in it. Like that's insane, you know. But
who was Don Cheadle though?
He's War Machine.
He's War Machine. That's what I thought. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
it's not the original War Machine though.
No, he was only in one movie forever ago. That guy,
right? The Iron Man 1. Yeah, right.
We've seen War Machine in like fucking 6 movies at this point. So,
wait, Don Cheadle was standing though.
Yeah,
didn't he get paralyzed?
Well, Tony developed the legs for
the legs for him. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Remember because the fucking Stan Lee shows up with a package and he's like, "Hey, I got you these legs," and then Stan Lee walks in and he's like, "Tony stank." Remember that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good times.
I do remember.
I can't remember which movie that was. I think it was Civil War. It doesn't matter.
No, it was probably Infinity War.
It's probably Civil War because that's where he got paralyzed. So
probably the end of it. Anyway, we've been rambling way too much about.
Yeah, dude, I think we may just like edit this part out and make it its own video. I feel like that might be the move. Yeah.
That might be the move.
That might be the move because that was like 16 minutes on just.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be the move. It. Every week, let's do it. I'm down. Let's do it. Why not?
I'm down. Yeah. I'm down. We'll just do a tangent into whatever Disney Plus has on. You know?
Yeah,
whatever the show is, the low-key show I think is next. We'll do that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, it's good shit.